Hi there, my name is Christy McGillivray. I am the STEM Education Coordinator with the Farmington Hills Nature Center. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, and our new STEM programming at the Nature Center is made possible through the Bosch Community Fund. Today I'm here with this recipient of one of the scholarships from the Bosch Community Fund. Her name is Gavin, and she is from Gill Elementary. She's going to talk with us about the experience that her students had visiting the Nature Center and participating in our STEM programs. So, Laura, can you tell us a little bit about the process that you went through to get the grant and the experience that your students had once they were at the Nature Center?
Sure. I heard about the grant from a teacher at my school. One of my colleagues went to a training and they mentioned it, and so when we were talking about field trips that we wanted to take, we had gone to Heritage Park last year and we loved it. We had actually received a grant last year, and STEM was not part of it, and we went in expecting, we didn't know what to expect really. And the kids loved it and we loved it. We wanted some hikes and we did a pond study. And so when she mentioned, I was like, oh, that would be so cool. And we talked about STEM and said, yeah, maybe we can do a kind of a combination where we could do some STEM and some hikes and pond study, because our kids loved that so much last year. And so then I talked with you and a couple other people at the Heritage Park, and they said, yes, we can do that. So I applied for the grant and we did receive the grant. And so that covered the buses to get there, so it made our cost less for the students. And when we got there, we did the pond study, which was my favorite part last year, I think. The students were all able to go down to the pond and scoop out little insects and plants and whatever they found in the pond, and then they got to look at it, and they just thought it was really cool to get kind of muddy, and it was fun for us. And then we also went on a hike in the morning, and then after lunch we went to the STEM part of the day, and we had a little lesson from you on the wind-powered, and actually it was a lot of things with engineering, and you talked about what STEM was and told the students, and I could look around and see their faces like, oh, we did this in school, or that they remembered hearing about it and they were so excited, and then they actually got to create their own wind-powered cars. So that was, they loved it. I had talked about it beforehand, but not having done it myself, I didn't know really what to expect, and so they were able to see how to do it, and you explained it, and then they came in, and really there was not a lot of modeling for them. It was really like, what could they come up with on their own? They knew the task was to get their car from as far as they could across the room, and it was very open-ended with just a few instructions for the base, and they just took off with it. And I love to see the trial and error. They were able to put the car down, and there was a fan, and they watched the car, see how far the car would go, and if it didn't go very far, what could they do to fix their car? And that process was awesome to see them do it, and like, oh, I'm gonna try this, or to see them so excited to measure how far they were and to record it and see it. So that was awesome.
And how did the way that we developed the program at the Nature Center, how did it fit with the curriculum and what you guys had already covered in your classroom? Was there a fit there?
There was a fit with we do live animals, and we did some like life cycles, so that kind of fit in with the hike. We don't really have in our curriculum right now a lot with the in science part, but definitely with math. I mean, we use measuring, so using different tools for measurement, and we don't necessarily do a lot of engineering, but we do a lot of problem solving. A lot of our math is based on problem solving, so that was a great fit there.
Yeah, and can you tell everyone what age group you work with?
Oh yes, I teach second grade. We actually came with 91 second graders. So it was a very big group. Yes, we're a big group.
Yeah, it was a lot. And what do you think, with the problem solving, what do you think the students were able to take away from it? Do you think there was any one particular lesson that they got out of participating in specifically the STEM portion of the day?
Well, I'll tell you something I really liked about it was that some of the kids who in the classroom are some of the first kids done, and they do it and they finish and they're ready for the next thing. And I really liked that with some of the kids that tried and the car didn't go very far. And so they're like, oh, I have to go back and think about what I can do to make it better. And then some of my students that don't necessarily get it the first time, some of them, like just the way they designed their car, theirs happened to go farther. So to see that excitement for them, and to know that we don't always get everything the first time, and sometimes it's try again, and that not to give up. And I think they really liked it. And I know they're, I know I'm going to try this, or working together, because they were all making their own cars, but they were looking at what the other kids were doing and saying, oh, that was, I'm going to try that. Or you kind of see one kid do something and they're copying me, they're doing what I'm doing.
It's collaboration.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really great to hear that actually, because one of the things that we work to build into all of our projects is that trial and error and trial and error. And I really work to make sure that the students understood that the idea with engineering is that you might not get the perfect product the first time, and you need to go back and try again and try again. So that's heartening to hear. Very good. So Laura, one of the things that we work to offer at the Nature Center is hands-on programming that takes the kids outdoors. Can you talk a little bit about how that opportunity worked with your students and what they might have gotten out of it?
Of course. I think it's so important that we get outside, especially at the Nature Center. It's such a beautiful place. And we were hoping and so happy that the weather turned out for us on the day that we went. It started raining as the kids were walking to the bus, so it held out for the most part. And so just to get the kids out there and to, like I said, be in the pond, they're digging into that water, and they're during the STEM part that they're creating the car, because we definitely learn a lot in the classroom. We do a lot with books. We have a lot of technology with our smart boards where the kids are really seeing things, but to actually experience it, just reaching with the kinesthetic learning is really important for all the kids, but definitely some learners who have a hard time maybe keeping up with reading or keeping up with the things that we do in class, that they can learn it in a real setting.
Well, this summer we'll have opportunities to get outdoors and take on some hands-on learning projects. Every Thursday at 2 p.m. we're going to have free science experiments at the Nature Center. So that's an opportunity for families to come and bring their kids, and I'll be running them. So stop by and say hi and get messy and dirty and maybe make something explode. It could happen. And we are also going to have a STEM leadership experience for high school students primarily, and some 8th grade students. That's going to be running from August 10th through August 21st. You can find out more information at sustainablefh.com under the programs tab. So that's also going to be a program that's running, but it's a little bit more high-level content than our free science experiments on Thursdays. So everyone's welcome to join us for those activities. And next year, we are going to have the same scholarship opportunities available for teachers in Farmington Public Schools. So we welcome teachers to contact the Nature Center about opportunities to bring students either to the Nature Center or to bring a STEM-focused program to their school. So thank you so much for sharing your time, Laura. I know that you work really hard as a teacher, and at the end of the day, coming in and spending more time working is very much appreciated. So thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.